where I'm joined by Boy George, Joe Brand, Denise Lewis and Joe Swash. And if you can remember, just before the break, we asked, who would you most like to have been stuck with in lockdown?
I think I'll be the most popular.
Go. You really are.
I'm taking a gamble, it probably is you, but I'm just putting myself forward.
Look, there's an empty ring here. Who's going to get in it?
Denise.
Denise, I think
Joe. I'm sure. I'm not sure. Denise, you go there, Joe. You go there.
From most unpopular to most popular. Come on.
I think this is right.
Are you getting in like that? There you go. Right, let's find out. Well, this is what our 1,000 people said.
See, I said Joe.
Joe, you'd have been the most popular to spend time
that was
with.
the 1,000 I paid.
Just let my fiver.
Yeah.
And Denise, you're in the right spot, so you've got a point. Yeah.
And I was close, but no
You're
dress.
very close, George.
No, I was close, but no tiara.
So after 2 questions, let's... Oh, fucking hell, can't see. Do your breathing.
Feel like that nitric acid.
Naomi Campbell. So after 2 questions, let's take a look at the scores, shall we? Voila! Well, well done. That's Joe on the end there and Denise neck to neck with 1 point each. There you go. There you go, Joe. You're the one who wants us to spend lockdown with.
They probably think that's because I've loads of food in the house.
All right, you ready for your next question?
Yes.
Okay. Now, this one is a little different because this time it's not the public deciding, it's a fellow celebrity. So let's get our next question from the one and only Sir Trevor MacDonald. Sir Trevor, over to you.
Hello, Paul. Having spent many years as a news presenter, accustomed to delivering bad news to people almost on a nightly basis, my question for the lineup is, which of you would be best at breaking bad news? I'm Trevor MacDonald. Back to you, Paul.
Thank you. Joe, what do you like at delivering bad news?
Not very good.
Really?
I just get the giggles quite badly. I laugh at funerals and things
That's
like
my friend's sister's like that. She roars laughing. I mean, it's shocking, but it's with nerves, isn't it? It's not because out of disrespect.
No, it's
for the
because it's
deceased.
out of disrespect.
Oh, is it? She's talking about roaring. Do you remember, like, sometimes you used to bring the coffin in the house? You know, I mean, you'll know, from an Irish family, the coffin would be in. Relatives are going and go, oh, it's a shame to bury her. Doesn't she look lovely? You know what I mean? She looks better than she did when she was alive, you know. I like a good funeral, do you?
I do.
Because you don't have to buy a present. No, really, you don't have to post the photos. You get blind drunk and have a fight and nobody minds. Fabulous.
Well, a friend of mine who sadly died a few years ago, when they got to the bit in the funeral where they picked his coffin up and carried it out, Elvis Presley's Return to Sender came on. That's someone with a sense of humour. Yeah. Brilliant.
I went to a cremation and it was Ring of Fire, Johnny Cash. Oh, that was good. I thought you'd be good, you know. Like,
did you?
Yeah, I thought
too.
really. Didn't
Me
you?
too. I thought you'd got the right temperament to deliver bad news.
Denise, what do you like at delivering bad news?
I like to think I've got quite a cool head because I have to work on live TV. I think I have to keep my composure quite well. So I think I'd be not too bad at delivering bad news. Not too bad.
What
But
do you
in
like?
your line of work, what sort of bad news would you ever have to deliver?
Your javelin's bust.
So the javelins just hit one of the judges.
That's it. Just hit his eye out.
I've seen that.
George, what do you like at... I should imagine you're seriously good.
Depends on what the news was. Obviously, I'd first consider if the person needed to hear it from me. Because I think if you're going to deliver bad news, you've got to really choose the right person. So I would ask, you know. But yeah, I think I'd have massive empathy and I'd want the person to know that I cared. I think if I was dressed up, I wouldn't be able to give bad news because I don't know if anyone would take me seriously. If I was in my full gear, I don't think I could deliver bad news like this.
What do you like at receiving bad news?
It depends what it is. If it's
Yeah.
like, you know, if it's something major, then sometimes it just needs a major response. You know, you have to just go like.
Give it the full dramatics.
Yeah, some things are just unbelievable, aren't they? And you just lose it.
Yeah.
You know, you just can't help yourself.
I lose it. I turn into Donald Duck. Bad news. No, Donald Duck when he loses his round. How about you, Joe? What do you like?
I'm the sort of person that would deliver bad news, but try to make it good news. Do you know what I mean?
I'm going to make your granny's just died.
I'll
Sound
be like,
good.
look, your nan's just died, but she had a great innings, you know.
Yeah.
You know, maybe she weren't even your real nan. Maybe you got another nan out there. You never know.
Right, remember, it's Trevor's opinion that counts this time, not the public. So, are you ready to get up again and go in the line to see who Sir Trevor MacDonald picked? Come on, Joe. Here you go.
It worked.
All right, then.
Got back.
So, sort yourselves out. Are you getting there again?
What is this? It's the least, so it's all
No,
around.
that's the best. That's the most.
Yeah.
Worst is the outside, and this
Mate.
is the best.
No, I
What
feel
do you
definitely
think?
I'm
Denise,
definitely
can
worse.
swap with me. Come on. I
Why
feel
do you
like
think that then?
because I don't know, you're very cool seeming. I think.
Well,
The
I have been
public have
tested.
seen
You
you
know.
do your racing, they've seen you.
I think you're both the most serious in a way.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I reckon
I think
maybe
so.
Joe, you've got to be up there because
That doesn't mean I'm
you've
not
actually
serious.
delivered bad news in your job.
Yeah.
As a nurse, so you've actually experienced it and done it. So people will be thinking,
Really?
I think
I mean,
Denise.
bad news like the canteen's shut. You know, not anything kind of major.
Again, I'm
Thankfully.
thinking it's you, Joe. I think you,
I
you
think
know,
it's
there's a
you.
way you'll be able to
I
deliver
think
it in
the
this
only
way.
reason it might be is because if he knows that I was a nurse, but why would he know? We've never slept together. I mean, you know.
Look, we're going to reveal now, okay? We're going to find out who Sir Trevor thought would be the best person
Come on,
to
Sir
break
Trev.
bad news. Let's see what he thinks.
I've decided that Joe would be the best at breaking bad news. There are two reasons for this. First, as a former nurse, she'll know how to handle the matter delicately. Second, there'll be a bit of cake at the end of it to soften the blow. Back to you, Paul, for my full line.
Oh wow.
You did say with him. You did.
Well, I thought he was going to go first because she's a nurse, and because we slept together.
Right, let's have a look at the rest of Sir Trevor's lineup, shall we?
yes,
So that's a point for Joe on the end, and also a point for George. Right, let's have one last question before the quick fire round. So back to your seats, please.
everyone's going to win.
I can't remember any bad news I've ever had.
Oh,
today.
I'm always on the phone
what sort
telling
of thing?
people some old drag queen's dropped
Oh,
dead. You know
okay.
what I mean? I am. Are you ready for your next question?
Yeah.
Okay, here it is. Now, who would be best at holding down a regular job? What about you, Joe? Well, you were a psychiatric nurse, weren't you? That's a regular job. It's
It
a
is.
tough job.
I did that for 10 years. I've done loads of jobs. I used to work in a TB hospital when I was at school as a cleaner. And the great thing about that was that at the end of the shift, we started at 7 in the morning, finished at 1. At the end of the shift, we get a free roast dinner. And then I go home and have one at home as well. That was my favourite day. Anyway, what else have I done? Yeah, I've worked in like restaurants, in pubs. I worked in a French restaurant once with a very, very bad-tempered chef. Who could imagine that, right? And he knocked over a massive bowl of garlic one day, and he just pointed at me and went, "Pick that up," like that. So I spent ages picking it all up, got it all in the bowl, and he came towards me to take it, and I dropped it and went, "You pick it up now." And, I got sacked, but it was worth it.
Isn't cleaning the worst job?
Oh, it's hideous.
£1 an hour. I used to get paid for cleaning. Awful, isn't
That's
it?
grim.
I'm not
Yeah.
talking last week, you know, this was in the 70s. But I remember some woman coming into me with a toothbrush and saying, "Cleaning between the bathroom tiles with this." And I said, "You know where you can put this toothbrush, don't you? And you lousy quid." Now, George, I've got a photo here of you in one of your very first jobs as a hair model.
I think you get paid for it. for it was my girlfriend Tracy. She had liberal parents and she had this mad sort of Vildos Sassoon's haircut with a perm at the back and a crop at the front and green bits. And so she took me for my haircut, a free haircut. And I agreed to model. And my mum said, whatever you do, don't let them dye your hair, of course. First thing they said was, "You like it hennaed?" And I went, "Yes." So I went home with a bright orange hennaed wedge, and my mother went looping, literally. But she liked the picture. She thought I looked very sweet.
And you never got paid for it?
No, I got a free haircut and a henna job.
Did you have any, like, sort of, we call an ordinary job?
Fruit factory, delivery boy. I used to do this delivery job, delivering parcels, and they used to let me dress up because I was never in the office. So I used to treat London like catwalk. I picked up with everything, going at work, people's phone numbers, all sorts of things.
Have you been fired from jobs, George, in the past?
Well, it's always good to get fired, because then you could sign on. Remember that?
That's right, yeah.
If you weren't fired, you had to
If
give
you
a
left
reason.
voluntary, they wouldn't give you any job.
So you'd always make sure they fired you, because if you knew, you got a sense you were going to. I always got fired, always.
I thought I was going to get sacked on my first job working for the Beebs in sport. I walk into the big team meeting, we've got all the execs there, the runners, producers, and I remember there was this line of people with a lady that I thought I recognised, but it was one of my really close friends. I'm thinking, what's she doing here? So I bowled in, walked up, and I gave her a big slap on the bottom, literally a proper stinger. She turned around, and I didn't have a clue who it was. I was mortified. I was so embarrassed, and everyone was just looking at me. She looked at me, and I was thinking, oh my God, that's it.
When I was on EastEnders, right, there was a writer called Tony Jordan, and he was an amazing writer, but he was from London, so I really got on with him, and I was like, I'd have just a little friendly banter with him, but one of our execs, one of the top dogs, looked like him from behind, and I remember going to one of the awards, and him standing there, and I put my hand between his legs and just tingling his nuts. Just gave him a little tickle, and he turned round, and it weren't the person, it was my boss.
Right, well, we've all heard what they've got to say, but it's your vote that counts, and in just a moment, we're going to find out where you put them in the lineup. So see you after the break, okay?